Okay, so here's where we're at. Another sidewalk. Everybody's sick of the sidewalk project. I think most people quit watching, but I already have the tools out. We have a sidewalk here that the brick has been down for 2 or 3 years. This is brick that came from, originally came from a chimney from an old farmhouse that my wife used to live in. So this brick is important to her, and it's kind of neat to have it here on the sidewalk, but we never have put it in correctly. We just set it into place. Kept saying we were going to get back to it just like we did the front, but we never did. So I already have the tools out. I would rather get on to another project, but this is a little different. This is real brick. I believe it's fire brick from a chimney. So it's a little bit different. The bricks are handmade. They're all different sizes. They're all shaped a little bit different. So this will be a little bit different job. I'm not going to dig this out. I'm not going to take the concrete up. I am going to level the bottom off so that we can have a smooth surface so we don't have bricks sticking up. But I'm not going to take this down to the dirt, and I'll do it the absolute correct way. I'm going to smooth out the surface, and we're going to put the bricks into a bed of sand, and then I'm going to use the poly set to set it. I think that'll be fine. That's as far as I want to go with it. I want this to only be a total of maybe a 5-hour job. So it would be nice to get this done. When you walk on the bricks right now, they wiggle, and in the wintertime, it's almost dangerous. So I'm going to move each brick off, set it to the side, get a good look at what's underneath, and we'll go from there. So let's get started. So now that I look at it, not only is it dangerous, it doesn't look very good neither. All these bricks are at different levels, and because the bricks are pretty much handmade, they're different thicknesses. There's Ayla. That's Ayla's first appearance. They're different widths, they're different lengths, they're different colors. Some of them were from a chimney, so they're fire brick, and some of them were just regular brick. I believe these bricks came from a house from a farm where my wife lived. I'm not so sure she lived in the house that had the bricks, but I think these bricks were always present, and she played on the piles of brick or around. So anyway, these bricks are important to her. We brought these bricks back in rental cars and in cars on our trips to where these bricks are from, and we would bring back 5 or 10 bricks at a time, and over several years, literally over several years, it took us several years to get all these bricks in place. And we put half the bricks down, and then we ended up with the full roll of bricks. But the bricks have sat there like this for, I know, 2 years, maybe 3, literally just sitting there. But as you'll see, underneath these bricks is some broken concrete. And the idea, we always wanted to brick this. But when we found these bricks, we said, oh, this is what we're going to do. It'll have some meaning, and it'll look good. So if you look underneath of the bricks, the problem with the concrete is it's broken and jutted up so that there's a very unlevel surface. So I'm going to have to prepare this surface so that the bricks are not sticking up at different levels, and that's why the bricks wiggled so bad before, and they weren't locked down in any way, but they were at all different levels just sitting there. Now I'm also going to try to preserve the growth of the plants that are on and around these bricks, so I'm being very careful as not to tear the roots up on the plants. There's Ayla again. She's a good work buddy. So anyway, I want to try to keep the things that are growing on the bricks there. That's kind of the look we want. There's also some mossy stuff that are growing on these bricks.
I want to keep that. I don't want to kill that off. I'm not going to clean the bricks. I'm actually encouraging that. That's kind of the look that we're looking for. So here I'm cleaning the surface off. Once again, we're not going to go through the whole process of busting this concrete out and preparing that surface. Really, you need a good flat surface. Not necessarily you have to get down to the dirt anyway, but you just need a good bed to put something in so that you can get a good surface that's stable. So it's not going to be as good as the steps in the previous job or the sidewalk in the previous job, because I'm not taking all the unlevel surfaces out, and I'm not putting the paver base in. But I am, as I'm going to knock the high spots off of the concrete, and I'm keeping a even depth of sand so that these bricks will be fairly level on the surface that you walk, so that they're easy to walk on and so that they don't move. They had become almost a trip hazard. So this will be a great improvement over what they were. So that's what I'm doing there, is leveling some of the surface underneath. You saw me with the hammer there on the concrete, leveling some of that concrete underneath. Now I've taken all the bricks up, I kept them in place approximately where they were. I cleaned the surface. Now I put the bed of sand down, making sure to keep a uniform level of sand. And there's my knee pad there. Those things are a must-have on a job like this. And if you haven't seen my other videos, that's a Harbor Freight product, and I think I paid $3 for it. So $3 or $4. It's well worth it. Well worth it. Got the level. Gonna make sure these bricks are level as much as I can get them in every direction. I'm attempting to put the bricks back in the position that they were originally in. We put these blocks in their spots over the course of a few years. We added bricks and added bricks and added bricks. And my wife is good at working puzzles. She has a good mind for that, so she figured these bricks out. Basically, she put them in. She arranged them the way that the best way they would go. Not a particularly hard job, kind of monotonous. It was very hot, very humid. It's early in the morning, very early in the morning, and I think it's already in the 80s. So once again, that's a way to really get ahead, is to get started early as you can. That way you can get your work done and get out of the sun. And really making some progress here, moving right along. Look at that. And you can see the same bricks, but because I'm getting them all at the correct depth and getting them level, it's getting a completely different look. Really taking shape. You can see there where I saved the moss on the brick, because we're trying to encourage that. We like that look. And we're going on with it. Now I went back later and added another row of bricks there at the bottom. I didn't realize there was another row that should have went there. So I did go back later. It's not on the recording. So now I'm dusting some sand down in the biggest cracks, and I will go and add some. Here I'm starting the poly mix. That's going to lock everything in. We're going to go over it with a little bit of water, not too much, and that'll lock it in. And that's going to about do it for this episode. That's the way I do it. Especially that's the way I do this job. We'll see you next time.